Alright, so I'm gonna let the CPU play this for like the majority. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'll play it when I get back.
Opening out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll run it again with Miller. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on third down.
Pass situation. The previous play was a nice run, so they came back with the draw. I think they were trying to...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will stop right around the 25. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. He'll come out throwing here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave him a little extra confidence there.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Again, it's Miller. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. taken at about the 16. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Houston defense we watch as they get set to go. And a really nice job last time. Offense had great field position, but they were able to hold them just 4 plays, and they had to hit the field goal.
We saw the benefits of practice there from the defense, though, didn't we? Because most teams, when they have that type of field position that they have to start defense on, they treat it almost like what we call sudden change. You know, after a turnover or a big kick return, whatever that is, you tell the guys, listen, you got to bow up. You got to get in there. Make sure you don't give up any more than a field goal.
They bowed up all right. We'll see if they bow up again.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They're going to look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 9 yards on the pickup, and that'll be good for a KC 1st down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
This one caught by Crowder. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back to throw now on 1st down. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
There we go, D. That's the way to hit.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Single. Let's go. Red 38.
They'll look to throw again. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Tight end right. Here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make it.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point forthcoming. He's got it. They're back within a score. It's 8, 21-13. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Houston. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
The play clock's running down. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Back to throw here. To the right side, it's Kelsey. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players who somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athletes.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Marcus Wheaton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are a 2-point conversion away from tying this thing up.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the...
And now he's going to go down. A big sack, and they're unable to tie it.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A 3rd quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe 1st or 2nd, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points,
Yeah.
but I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4.
Hey, hey, hey. 4 down.
Here we go. On play action, they'll throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. The Texans send the punter out. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. We'll see Kelsey in the slot to the left. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Here's Spencer Lanning now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Take it at the 37. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on first down. He's got time. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Green 39.
On second down, here's Miller. He'll get 3 up to midfield. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
They'll drop to throw. Underneath for Miller. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Finding time. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. Are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And heading back onto the field now, the Texans defense. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3 and out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3 and out, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another 3 and out. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's second down.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense.
Let's go.
They're going to look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Kelsey out in the slot right.
Let's go. White 90. We got 4. White 90.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Let's go. Red 38. Red 38. 56.
They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
3 down. 3 down. Come on, let's go. Check 31.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing 4th quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch. Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
So now it's 1st and goal, and they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they're going to lose some on this play, being knocked back to the 18.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Yeah, it looks like they might be expecting a pass, an extra DB in on 3rd and goal.
And that's how the game has changed. Now we think pass first, even in goal line situations.
And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
this time?
Yeah, get a little
closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 13 yards there on the pickup. And that'll be good for a Houston first. He's back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run with Miller. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 3rd down, Miller. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And this one is right through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this one's not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it'll give the Chiefs a first down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Another pistol look here. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And at 50 seconds left, he'll spike it to stop the clock. It's third down, 6 yards to go for the offense. Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
So second and 10 here.
Hey, we got 3 down. Let's go! What? 9! 56, the mic. What? 56. Check, 56.
They'll look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third.
3 down. Let's go! Red 38!
They'll drop to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. And they're not able to convert on fourth down.
Everyone gears up for third down, talks about the importance of it. But fourth down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way. Depending
We
on
almost blew this game.
on fourth down.
A road win in the National Football League.
Alright, well, you'll come back next week. Two touchdowns, 4 picks is crazy. Nah, stop Marquise Ricks. Like, it's not that serious. Man, he's gonna want a contract too. Anyways, let me save and peace.